Now, one last thing before we go. We're going to do a talking point debunk. A lot of people is not going to be happy, particularly the brothers. I'm already projected up. Let me move this up because I need to see this. Okay, perfect. There's a talking point we have to debunk, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm gonna have to warn you guys, just particularly the fellas, just calm down. We have to have this conversation because I came to this realization maybe a couple of months ago, and it just took me a step back. We need to talk about debunking the notions of alpha male. The alpha male. Is this a talking point that needs to be debunked?
Next. There's no such thing as an alpha male.
Oh, we're about to get to that. We're about to get into that, but let's set it up because we agree. Now, hold on. Now, let's get the definition, ladies and gentlemen. It's a noun, the dominant male animal in a particular group. That's the definition of an alpha male, the dominant male animal in a particular group. In addition, a man tending to assume a dominant or domineering role in a social or professional situation. That's your definition of an alpha male. So, how did this alpha male thing started? Now, the term alpha male derived from research done by L. David Mack regarding a wolf pack. L. David Mack is the author of a book called The Wolf. It was published in 1970. Now, excuse me. He based his research at Michigan's Isle Royale National Park in the 60s. It might depend on where it's at. I might have to visit that when I get out there next week. He based on his wolf observation and research at the wildlife preserve, Mack conducted an observation of a wolf pack and found a dominant wolf leading the group, which led to the term alpha wolf. That's how this all started. Because, and as another, that also shows humans' ideas of trying to compare themselves to animals all the time. That's I'm gonna say that for a conversation for another day. And unfortunately, however, this term has been mistakenly associated with humans. Now, after writing a book on this concept, Mack researched the wolves in actual wildlife. And he realized he made a grade A mistake. The term alpha male, when he realized that there's no such thing as a dominant wolf or alpha wolf, he, based off his research in the wildlife, see, it's different. See, research at the zoo is completely different than research in the wildlife. You get the animals in its natural habitat, you get the authentic them. Where in the zoo, there's still some level of controls of how the animals got to move and how they got to dictate stuff. Don't get it twisted. There's still nature, but there is in a controlled environment. Compared to wildlife, there ain't no fucking control. We dictate how we move out here, not the humans. So, coming to all of that, he tried to what's what I'm looking for? He realized his mistake. He tried to give it back to the public, but by then it was already too late. The term alpha male was already become widespread. So before we get into my decision on this, I'm sorry, what you got on the topic? Because you said there's no such thing, which I agree.
Yeah, I just don't agree in the notion of alpha male or beta male. A person could be a serial killer and have people demanding his respect, and as well as being a boxer and then raise his daughter's hair. So, to me personally, there's no
that's a fact.
Alpha or beta male, it's just a male. You said certain things, and even it's subjective. There's nothing to good or bad person. But the person could be a serial killer murderer all his life. And last year, he changed his life for pets. Started doing good, and eventually that's more good than bad. So yeah, there's no definitely many gray areas, and then I'll end on that.
And also, I'm glad you brought up the Niger Bank, the Boston dude that was father. Ladies and gentlemen, my father's from Nigeria, so you would take that how you want to take that. the most masculine thing that I saw him do, I didn't realize this back then. I didn't really care to say anything back then because it is what it is. But now I can say this. I saw my dad do my sister's hair, the ponytails, the pigtails, or whatever he got to do, because he had to do what he had to do back then. That's probably the most masculine. Although I'm gonna debunk the whole masculine femininity thing later on this year, that's probably the most masculine thing I ever seen my dad do, was to humble himself and be there as a father, be there for your daughter, and where we will kind of look down or make fun of a man doing his daughter's hair. No, that's what my pops had to do at that time, because my sister don't care about nothing about that. She don't know anything about that. What she does know is her hair has to be done for school, for recital, for church. My dad said, all right, let's get to jail. Let's go ahead, do your hair and make this work. That's probably the most masculine thing I ever seen my father ever do, outside of the responsibilities that you have to do. So I'm glad you brought that up, but thanks for your input. But now, talking point, alpha male. Doesn't need to be debunked. Yes. On Wednesday, March 20th, 2024, we have to say rest in peace to alpha male and everything that comes along with it. For the simple idea that this is fruit of the poisonous tree. How this all started was based off of a fallacy. It was based off of a lie. It was based off of research that wasn't double checked. So you heard it here first. There's no such thing as an alpha male, which means there's no such thing as a beta male, Charlie male, Sigma male, all the other stuff. There's no such thing, because how you started this was based off of a fallacy. Now, does the same concept go across the board? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. We just have to wait to see. But as of right now, alpha male, debunked. We cannot allow people to get that off in an argument anymore. We had to educate them that this started from research done in the 60s. We have to educate them that research led to a book that was published in the 70s. We have to educate them, let them know that research was then double checked to realize that it was wrong. And we have to let them know that people didn't care. They wanted to push the narrative forward because they like how it sounded. There's no such thing as this alpha male, ladies and gentlemen. So the question is, what do we need to replace alpha male with? Well, what do you believe in? I'm a firm believer of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So that's an easy replacement. Matter of fact, that was there before this alpha male thing. What do we got to replace it? What do we replace it with? What goals do you need? What goals or what accomplishments need to be done in the house? Like, for example, the gender roles things to a degree. Like, obviously, everybody got to learn how to do everything. But truth be told, are you going to say, I'm not cleaning dishes, that's a woman's job, and we got guests coming over in a couple of minutes? You mean to tell me you're going to sit there and let those dishes stay in the sink? Yeah, you can probably see who was assigned the responsibilities and who didn't do their jobs. I'm not saying that, because that's a conversation that need to be had. Like, all right, everybody got to pull their weight around here. Why did you not pull your weight? That's not what I'm talking about. The simple fact that it's the woman's job to cook, clean, and do all that stuff. At least that's what an alpha male is going to tell her and make her do. But now that we know that it's based off a fallacy, does that hold any weight anymore? The answer is no. So now on your own spare time, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to sit back and think, what decisions did I make? What social construct are we abiding by that is based off of a fallacy? And once we determine that, the question is, what do we do next? As the facts change, ladies and gentlemen, so does my opinion. Or when you get new details about information, you got to adapt. So we're going to have to destroy we're going to have to unlearn everything that was taught to us and learn something new that makes sense in 2024. Obviously, if you keep attacking your principles, your standards, and all that stuff, I'm not telling y'all very too far away from that unless you have to. But we're gonna have to understand that the life we're living today was based off of a lie, and we need to go back and replace that lie with the truth. The question is, who's willing to do it? Like with the whole alpha male situation thing, like the household. Excuse me. Everybody got a job to do in the house, but if I see that somebody's slacking, I pick up their slack. If they see me slacking, they're gonna pick it up, regardless of the gender roles. So whatever the ultimate goal is, that's all that matters. And also, quickly, behavior, ladies and gentlemen, your behavior is predicated on everybody winning, everybody doing their job. Because that behavior of an alpha male, well, I'm not gonna say is what did they say? Toxic masculinity. I'm not saying that goofy shit, but I will say this: it's worth looking into about how we view this life as men. Now, I'm not saying go to the women and say, "Hey, you was right." What's up, man? No, that's a whole type of fact. Toxic masculinity, toxic femininity, so there ain't no such thing. But now, fellas, this is not where you say you go to your woman and you're like, "Hey, babe, I think you was right, so I'm sorry." So if you have to apologize to your woman for whatever you did and you know it's wrong, yeah, go apologize. But this is a simple fact that we need to dismantle a system that should never came off the ground, all because somebody did not check their work twice. It's only fair.
I got something we can promote. Not like we should promote that. Like try to push the thing that men shouldn't be speaking to women as far as what they believe about a particular situation.
Say that one more time.
Hold on 1 second. I got to step out. I'm in the break.
Okay, let's go.
So go ahead. Say what you're saying first until I get out the break.
Okay. Now, I'm just saying we're just going to have to dismantle this system that was based off of the ideologies of being an alpha male. Now that we know that it's not true. Because it just derived from studies of there being an alpha wolf. There's no such thing as an alpha wolf. There's just only wolves moving in packs and moving as one. So that's gonna have to be broken down. That's gonna have to be rid of, and we're gonna have to replace it with something new. Now, I'm not for. You guys heard me do talking points debunk before. If I debunk something, it's only because I'm gonna replace it with something better. So I think you just need to replace it for the simple fact that everybody needs to be interdependent. Everybody needs to move as one. If you're talking about a household, excuse me. If you're in work and that alpha male mentality gotta go. You're just a hard worker. You're a good player. You're a good boss. You're a good supervisor. That's a hard worker that's willing to push this company forward. And not only that, you're willing to help others as well, so that way everybody can win at the end. So that's my take on that. I'm sorry, you there?
Yeah, something I wanted to talk to you and Moha Nerd about too, because I'm on this other app, and what you call it. I want to start a podcast with us, but yeah, great. We all think similar but different, and it's gonna be something. It's a video app too, so we can still do this on here, but I also want to start promoting like a little podcast thing about awareness and all that. But the thing I forgot what the thought I was gonna say before about. Oh yeah, so based on so basically, like as far as talking, like you see on the app, majority of the time people are too busy trying to explain themselves to certain women about what they need to do, what they need to. I think that's the underlying problem right there, because majority of women, especially on this app and all these other apps, they're gonna be doing it whatever what they want when they even if we tell them what not to do, what to do. So there's gonna be some sense out there in the world that's gonna pick them up no matter what they are. So what we need to do, what we should do, and that ain't right, this stuff better. It's kind of geared the content towards men because talking to women is null and void. I hate to be misogynistic, but the majority of them are dumb, and the rest of them are too much in their feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Not much of being facetious, but it's a fact. We've had countless dialogues with women on this app and off the app, and we know like anytime you go into trying to figure something out fully, it goes to the whole who hurt you, or thank you, appreciate it. It goes to the simple things like who hurt you and stuff like that. How you doing, Charlie?
I'm fine. How are you?
Can't complain. Good. Like stuff like who hurt you, and they'll deflect, or you'll bring up a particular topic on this app, and then the whole conversation is switched, so you never really get to the root. And then we have room where we're talking positive stuff, and people usually don't come in. So I think it has to be like, I don't know if it should be misleading, or we're gonna have to get on something where we just talk directly to men, because trying to make sense with the woman, it's futile, bro. Majority of these stars and artists are still gonna get beat down by a simp dude, and they're not really gonna understand it. And even the conversation that's right now, the alpha male, if we would have said that in a room with a bunch of women, they would have been like, maybe because you're not giving alpha male, and then that would have been a whole nother conversation.
Right.
Because some people choose not to listen to things, and it's like me, I'm at a point in my life where it's like personally, like just yesterday I was in the room, right, and then we was having a conversation about the difference between the difference between people in relationships, people not. And I was saying, in this day and age, there's no difference, because the people who are in relationships are acting like they're not. And it's not all, it's majority. She's like, well, that must be your relationship. I said, man, I refuse myself from speaking to you.
Right.
And you have nothing else to say to me, because majority of the time, these women are on here bitter. And no one's listening, men be on here bitter too. But I think with most men, we're trying to actually do shit. And most of them are just trying to battle. And it's gonna, like, I'm with the content and all that, but like I said, download this app to be BIGO, and it's a video app as well. There's a lot of negativity on that app too, but when you have your own room, there's a own little section where we can just, do stuff like that too on the app. But I support the BTS guys, so whatever you do on here, I'm with. And like I said though, but you see, anytime you do positive room, you don't be uncomfortable. Name this title of the room. BW can't do nothing without DM.
Right.
How fast is the number going?
Right, and everybody know that's from here, from Clubhouse to YouTube. Everybody know that's not my style. Like the rare times I do a quote unquote troll room, is to actually, there's a message behind it. Like, for example, the one time I did a room where I said, hoes, wait a minute, if you get flown out, you're a hoe on escrow. That room led to a conversation people didn't expect. That's the type of thing I'm trying to do, and what I've been doing. But yeah, I'm not just gonna blatantly just say black women ain't shit without black men and that type of stuff. I'm not doing that. But to what you're saying,
no, I was just saying that was just that's a toxicity that people are just
right.
Love, like, it's weird.
Right, and sometimes you gotta separate yourself. You gotta find a way to separate yourself from others. Like, to what you were saying earlier, like, to talk to men, that's what this space has always been on. Well, and for the record, I'm also referring to the people on YouTube. That's what this space has always been. I'm talking to the men. I need the women off the stage, and don't click the link, because I need to talk to the brothers. And it's up to the brothers to determine who their significant other is going to be. You need to find someone that's compatible for you, that's compatible for your relationship. Like, you can't just pick anybody or everybody just because, like some of the dudes on, and has a just for those on YouTube, when it comes to the audience, particularly this space, YouTube is a lot of nerds, lack of a better word, where in Clubhouse, I'm actually dealing with a bunch of street niggas that have the same mentality. It's just there's two different walks of life. So I just want to throw that out there for context. But You have to talk to the brothers where the women is not listening. Well, if they're going to listen, they're going to be in the audience because their input is not necessary. Just like you go to a woman's space, the men can be in the audience. Their input is not, for the most part, necessary, depending on what they're talking about. So the thing is, when the man talks to the men, it's the man's job to make sure that they find someone that's compatible with them, the life, the wants, the education, the curiosity, all of that has to go through. So that way you don't have a fucking dickheads with people that they don't have no business being with. So yes, I do agree with that. We do need to talk to the brothers and allow the women to talk to the women. This is a man's space. Let us talk to them. This is a woman's space. Let the woman talk. And there are going to be times where we all intermingle together. Let's have that conversation and let's let it be fun, educational, and informative. But these bashing rooms, what they say, or these bashing streams that they do on YouTube, is like, what are we doing here? We're taking 10 steps backwards versus going forwards.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that. And the idea of that podcast, yeah, we're going to definitely talk about that because that's something I'm interested in. But so, ladies and gentlemen, so yes, sorry, fellas, Talking Point Debunked. No more alpha males. Well, you know me, I mean, no more beta, sigma, all the other stuff. All that is gone. Gone. Not to return. We can't do it. If it was based off of something true and accurate, granted, the next argument is why does humans always want to compare themselves to animals? Why you always want to go into the a nature standpoint versus move based off of principle standards, because that's what separates us from the animals. That's the story for another day. But now we don't even have to have that conversation pertaining to this topic because there's no such thing as alpha male because it was based on a lie. It's all right. Shake it off. We'll be fine.